Good morning, everyone. Ken, hope you're doing well today. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you today?
Good. I know that there were lots of rain coming in Florida.
Oh yeah, we got the rainy season, we've got the thunder season. Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you stay dry as much as you can.
Will do.
So, Ken, as you likely saw, President Biden recently announced student loan forgiveness for millions of Americans. Alongside the president's announcement, the Department of Education also proposed changes to income driven repayment plans. So, can you just kind of dive deeper just into explaining what exactly this whole student loan forgiveness plans entails?
Yeah, there's a lot in the news about the loan forgiveness program, a lot of different opinions about it, and so on. I think my approach will be to explain it and kind of walk through the basics of what's going on with this program, and then add some side commentary as we get through it. So, just to kind of kick it off, August 24th of 2022, so not that long ago.
Yeah.
President Biden announced the $10,000 debt relief per federal student loan borrower. Now, I say that intently, so we hear that part, $10,000 per federal student loan borrower for those who did not attend college on Pell Grants. All right, and then he also announced that $20,000 for those that did attend college on Pell Grants. All right, so those are the two basic components to it. The loan forgiveness is for individuals. Again, I'm intently saying individuals that are making under $125,000 a year, and any families that are under $250,000 a year. And then another fact there is that the loans must have been taken out by June 30th of 2022. Okay, so a couple of kind of important pieces there. Now, if you're a current borrower and a dependent student, you will be eligible for relief based on your parents' income rather than your own.
Well, that's good to know. I did not know that, Ken.
Yeah, so that kind of tees it up, generally speaking. Now, here are some of the detail that goes along with that. So for borrowers for whom the Department of Education does not have accurate information on, which, by the way, is the vast majority of people.
Right.
Okay, so the vast majority of people fall into this heading. They're a borrower and the Department of Education does not have their current income information. They'll need to apply for loan forgiveness. Okay, so we get that part. The application should be available by early October. So that's just right around the corner. It will take about 4 to 6 weeks. And so the forgiveness to appear, before that forgiveness to appear on the loan profile for the government recommended borrowers may apply before November 15. Okay, so what they're recommending is apply before November 15 to ensure the relief is applied by the time payments resume in January 2023. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's review that paragraph a little bit. What was important about that is that, first of all, we have to recognize that there is this delay period.
Yeah.
All right, so during the pandemic, the borrowers were not required to make payments. That has been extended a couple of times. The most recent extension is to the end of this year, December 31st. All right. So again, that's why it says they will resume payments in January of 2023. All right. So that's why it's apply early, in other words. Okay. Get those applications in, get that information in there. Now, here's an important piece. You can sign up at studentaid.gov. Okay, that is the website. Mm-hmm. And you'll be notified when the application period opens. All right, so that's STUDENT, the word student, and the word aid.gov. All right, so that's how they make all that happen. So borrowers will be able to apply for the student loan forgiveness through December 31st of 2023. Right, so all through next year, that's a whole period of time that they can do those applications. So again, that has been extended. The stay on those payments, they will be again in January. Now, there's a piece here that's getting a lot less attention than it really should. And if you're a student and you made loan payments during the pandemic pause, okay, so instead of pausing, you just wanted to pay those loans, you were prudent, you wanted to make all that happen, you can now receive a refund.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So you simply contact your loan servicer. Yeah. So that again is worth repeating. If you were prudent during the pandemic, you wanted to pay that loan and make things happen, it was in your budget and so on, then under this program, you can apply and receive a refund.
Very, very cool.
Okay, very good. So and just as a quick note here, when we put this program together, we put together a white sheet, and that white sheet has links to these different pauses that I had. The application process, this receiving refund information, and so on. So just note that we can make that available for those that are watching the program today, or if they know others. It could be a neighbor, it could be a cousin, it could be a friend. People that aren't privy to this information. This is, but that is kind of the picture, if you will, of the student loan forgiveness plan. That's the way it was proposed.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be going through links to follow up on to get more information, but don't concentrate on just making sure you get those links, because all you have to do is follow up with us post this live, and Ken and his team will send you all of the information with all the links included.
Yeah, we want to make this information available to people. This is really an introduction. It's an education. It provides a lot of value. And so there are different links that we've already, we've got the research done and we've got the program on, so we can provide this white sheet. It just takes an email. We'll pop it over to them. But we can cover that at the end of the broadcast today. I think the next transition really is to get into the changes in terms of the repayment plans. Okay, so there's the income component that is working with the repayment plan. So the Department of Education has proposed changes to what they call the income-driven repayment plans. What does that mean? Well, there are some components that people may know and they may not remember. The proposal would cap the monthly payments to no more than 5% of discretionary income. The previous number was, and the number that is in place right now, I should say, is 10% of discretionary income. So what is discretionary income? So after you pay taxes, and after you pay those reoccurring essential cost of living expenses, like rent, like transportation, like utilities, those are all, kind of those essentials. That's okay. So after taxes and after all those, then the payment amount is capped. All right. Now, this proposal would drop it from 10% as it is now to 5%. Okay, now I'm going to go on with this. The borrowers with undergraduate and graduate loans will pay a weighted average rate. And again, there's a link to that. So some folks may be listening. We got a couple links there that help with that. The plan would also forgive loan balances after 10 years. The current standard is 20 years. For those with original balances of $12,000 or less. Okay. Now, the next bullet is, under this proposal, loan balances will not grow as long as you make monthly payments, even if you're not required to. And then finally, if you've worked for a government agency or a nonprofit, you may also qualify for a public service loan forgiveness program. So that's an entirely different program for those. Again, those that are working for a government agency or a nonprofit, they may qualify under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So we've got a link for that as well. So that's the overview. That's kind of the generality. From here, then we can do a little bit of review, a little bit of Q&A to kind of walk through that. So again, under the plan, the Biden administration has announced the $10,000 and the $20,000 forgiveness, right? Okay,
Right.
it's on a Pell Grant or a non-Pell Grant. All right, so we know that part. And we know who qualifies based on the 125,000 or less of income for an individual, 250,000 for families qualify. Okay. All right then. So the next question could be then, will the student loan payment freeze be extended? All right. Now it's already been extended to December 31st. Okay. It's not likely that would be extended past that with this program. It was set to expire August 31st, then extended to December 31st. We know that part. The interest will remain zero until the repayment starts. Okay, so again, as a reminder, the interest is zero until the repayment starts. Under the earlier extension announced in April, people who were behind on payments before the pandemic automatically will be put in good standing.
So how does one apply for student loan forgiveness?
So there is there's the application process.
Okay. The application that you mentioned earlier to sign up to November 15th.
Yeah. So the federal student aid website will have that. Okay, so that's how they would apply for it. So it'll be an application, and essentially they teed it up by saying that if they don't have current income information. All right, so that's it's being verified is the income. And again, the sidebar is that the vast majority of people just assume that you'll need to go through the application process simply because they don't have accurate information. Okay.
So Ken, does a graduate student debt qualify for this?
Yeah, so there's a separate section on the postgraduate and graduate students as well. But one of the questions that I get associated with the debt itself is, what about the interest? Because there's a lot of debt and a lot of interest.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer to that is the interest itself is considered part of the balance. So if the 10,000 is paying off the balance and interest, then it's all the same. It's all part of that balance.
Okay. So does it grow? It doesn't grow.
So right now it's 0%.
Okay.
But there may have been some accrued interest in the balances up until now. So the question then becomes, well, are they going to pay off balance? But what about the interest? Do I still owe that? And if it's part of that $10,000 forgiveness, then yeah, that would qualify.
Got it.
Here's what's interesting though. Many people in a lot of the news, and I see it flashing in news cycles and so on, is that, do I have to pay taxes on the amount of forgiveness? Because we're all used to the idea that, well, if I've been forgiven on a loan, that becomes a taxable event under the federal taxes, right?
Right.
Okay, so how does this apply? And the answer is no under this program. No, Congress eliminated taxes on loan forgiveness through 2025. Wow. Now, that was done by Congress. All right. Remember, this is an initiative that the Biden administration and President Biden is forwarding on. So I'll get to that in just a moment here. So again, the Congress eliminated taxes on loan forgiveness through 2025. It is possible some states, however, could institute tax based on canceled debt. All right. Now, I'm in Florida. We don't have state taxes. Okay. We don't foresee that happening. But there may be viewers from other states and so on that might apply to. So just remember that. It's just not clear how that's going to work out.
Okay. So it's all still kind of pending at the moment.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I will tell you everything we're talking about right now is still very much pending. And as a matter of fact, I'll just kind of get to that point directly here. The White House and President Biden could face lawsuits over this plan. All right, because Congress has never given the president the explicit authority to cancel debt.
Mm-hmm.
But the administration is trying the authority under the corona pandemic and also a 2003 law that was aimed at providing help to members of the military. So kind of combining these two and making this initiative. So we don't know how any legal action might really impact the timetable, at least on the loan forgiveness program. You know how lawsuits are. You know how this, they stop the program. It's going to be delayed till something is figured out and so on. But the important point here is that this has not been authorized by Congress. And typically what we're led to believe here is that, the president just can't come right out and say, I'm going to cancel all this debt.
Right.
Unless there's an existing precedent for it. And the precedent that I stated really is the coronavirus, the pandemic itself, as well as the 2003 law that was aimed at helping the military. So I just wanted to get to that point, and then maybe to go off and talk a little bit about another aspect of this, and that is the Parents Plus loans.
Yeah.
So Parents Plus loans are really so parents of undergraduate students. Okay, so first of all, these are parents of undergraduate students. This is a loan that they get to help pay for college or for a career school, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so under this type of a program, you could actually have two different borrowers here. Remember, I was careful to say per borrower earlier in this conversation. And so the student may have a loan that qualifies for forgiveness, and the parents under the Parents Plus may have a loan that could qualify under this mandate as well. So there's a couple things there for the viewers really to dive into and maybe get a little bit more information about. But there you have it. That's what's going on with the student loan program. Again, number one, these are the details of it. We've got a white paper that has the links that help people with that. Just shoot us an email and we'll be able to provide that information. But this is a nice overview for folks to kind of cut through some of the headlines and get an idea of what it really means.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's definitely a touchy subject for a lot of people. And the general information entailed to what exactly this means isn't out there. So for you to take your title and just push it to the side and just be an educator for 10, 15 minutes, just to inform the public of what this all entails really, truly is very beneficial.
Yeah, it's a big deal out there. I mean, it's there are billions of dollars. Just this last piece, a little bit of research that we did on the Parents Plus as an example. As of March of 2022, parents held 3.6 million students owed more than $107 billion. Those are big numbers. I guess we're getting used to these billions and trillions like they're ordinary numbers, but that is really, really a big number out there.
Yeah.
And so that represents a significant amount of the overall student debt. So the Parents Plus program just in itself is a sidebar that can be helpful to some of these to some of these borrowers out here. You've got the parents are part of the process, the kids are part of the process. They're trying to get an education, get into careers that are meaningful, and there's all this headwind associated with that. So it's a big deal. On the flip side, there are those that have already paid their loans, and they're feeling, how's that good? I mean, I didn't get that, and so there's still some controversy about it, and it's definitely not a done deal. But if that money's available and it's going to go to help some people, then these are the rules associated with that.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm one of those people that had the privilege of paying off my student loans, and I think this is great. But I have been hearing a lot of backlash from people about this causing inflation.
Yeah, well, by the nature, by the definition of an inflation, this is inflationary. and it's a simple concept in economics that if you expand the monetary supply, which we've done for many, many years now, to the tune of several $1 trillion, then it eventually will cause there's more money chasing fewer goods. In other words, is the simple equation, and therefore the costs go up. And so, and here's the same thing. This cancellation then creates an expansion of the monetary supply, in theory, and would be inflationary. So yeah, that is definitely an argument that has some teeth to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ken, thank you so much for taking the time and having this Facebook Live with me. Like we said a few times during this Facebook Live, if you want any follow-up information, have any questions, reach out to Ken and the team, and they will provide you with all the links that we talked about throughout this Facebook Live. And it's a very entailed sheet that they had created with all the bullet points that is informative, needed, educational, and it's great.
Yeah. Specifically, just contact the office. Talk to Jenny Giroux. She'll email out a PDF that has the. If you ever notice, you get an email. It's got the little blue piece that you click on it, and it'll send you that link or that information. And no obligation, no cost at all. Just ask for the information. I hope it serves you well, and happy to do that for everyone.
And please, everyone watching, please comment, like, share this video to just spread the out there as well. Ken, once again, thank you so much, and looking forward to our next call.
Yeah, terrific. It was good spending time with you.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.